Hello, everyone. Dr. Allen here. Hope you had a good first week of the semester. We're going to go ahead and jump right into week 2. Just a few things before I do start that. Just a reminder, I try to do these in one take, so I will do my best not to too much, but if I do, please bear with me. Also, it was great seeing the actual faces from the Google Arts and Culture. I am recording this actually on Thursday. I'm looking at my calendar, the 16th. I will, if I have not posted your grade yet, I will try my best to have those up no later than Monday. That's really just one that if you did it, you should be good to go with the intro, and hopefully you had a chance to look around the class, the course, the Brightspace spot, the syllabus, all that stuff. So with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. There we go. I was having a little problems with that earlier. And let's see, why is it not showing? Oh, there it is. It's toggling. Sorry. There's our page. There. Sorry. I was fighting some things with Zoom earlier when I was trying to record. Alrighty, let's go ahead and jump into our class. And if you have not already, please make sure you check out the syllabus. It is right here under this. Welcome here, start here. And if you look this week, we're going to do two things. We're going to look at 21st century skills. I'm not going to get too bogged down on that, but you'll hear me reference that a few times. So I do want to kind of touch base on that just briefly. We're also going to talk about the pros and cons of having websites in the class. Again, you're going to have a choice on where you want to build your website or how you want to build your website. I'll cover that here in a few minutes. And for assignments this week, one, you're going to create a website, really brief one, a small one. You're going to review the tech. So you'll give that one sentence or two sentence, like, loved it, make websites forever using this application. Or you'll say, didn't like it, I don't see the purpose of this, yada, yada. Also discussion 2, and that is related to chapter 1 of Teach Like a Pirate. I'm sorry, Teach Tech Like a Pirate. The other book is Teach Like a Pirate. This one is Tech Like a Pirate. And that's about the concept of being confident and not worrying about failing in the world of education. Because if you're going to employ technology in your classroom, believe me, there are things that are going to, we'll say fail, but not work. And you need to learn from it and be able to grow from that. That's the teacher as a reflective learner type thing, but it happens to all educators. And sometimes you just can't be scared to fail. Learn from it, grow from it. So that's what the reading this week will deal with. And again, 150 words, that's kind of the ballpark, and good content. So with that being said, let's go ahead. I'm actually going to go ahead and jump down to the 21st century skills. This will be in our week 2 right here. And if you go down, 21st century skills, I just want you to get a little idea of this because you will see them referenced. I will talk about them. At the turn of the century, at the millennium, which is getting farther and farther and farther away, it makes me feel older and older and older every day. There were all these things. What are we going to do in the 21st century? How are we going to grow? What are we going to do to make this the best century ever? And one of the things in education that came up are 21st century skills. And this is something we'll refer back to when we start to do a little bit of lesson plan brainstorming. But there are a lot of 21st century skills, and most of them are pretty straightforward. A lot of them are educational buzzwords, but things like critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, information literacy, media literacy, technology literacy. Those all kind of go in there in some aspects, but birds of a feather. Being flexible, leadership, initiative, being productive, social skills. These are all things that in the year 2000, we thought that students needed, individuals needed, etc. Personally, I think it's kind of the old adage. You'll hear this in education, not just in education, just in life. What is old is new again. A lot of these are things that we have been striving for since the 80s, the 70s in education and beyond. Maybe a little bit with the technology because it's always growing. I would say, I don't know if it's down here. Yes. If you look, there's a little chart. It's really nice. The 4 C's are usually the ones that most people root back to as far as like the real like Mount Rushmore of 21st century skills. And that's critical thinking skills, which all disciplines stress it, going that, not that simple recall, that next level thinking a little more, being creative. I do think that's a little bit of a lost art in some regards. Art, creativity. But and it doesn't just mean drawing or writing or, it can mean things like being creative with technology. We're going to use Canva. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Canva. I think there's a lot of creativity with that. I think there's a lot of creativity in creating PowerPoints. There's different ways to be creative and creative in your lesson planning. Collaboration. More and more, this is going to be something that expands, well, let me rephrase that. Collaboration sometimes is changing, and where once upon a time in a classroom we would just do group work together. Now that might mean, we'll talk about it when we talk about the Google aspects and tools. That might mean working on a document together, a hyperdoc, or or developing some sort of PowerPoint from different points, or even what we're doing now, Zooming and putting stuff together and communicating. And of course, communication. And again, with technology, that can be, Zoom and other things. But it's just learning how to communicate also in class, written communication, which is so important. So those are the 21st century skills. Again, I don't think these are anything you haven't heard before, but when I refer back to them, I just wanted you to have some familiarity with them. And when you do your lesson plan or your brainstorming assignments later in the semester, you actually have to connect to some of these. So, if I'm doing a Nearpod, there might be a level of technology aspects to it. There might be some critical thinking in there. So you just need to kind of cite that. So 21st century skills. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about are plan websites. I'm not going to get into e-planning too much today. I'll reference that later in the semester. But a lot of the LMAs, a lot of the learning management system LMSs kind of handle some of that. But let me just give a little shout out here. Using websites in the classroom. This is what we're going to talk about today. Why do you need to use websites? Because there's advantages for both you, students, and parents. I will say, I just mentioned learning management systems like your Brightspaces, your Schoology, your Canvas, stuff like that. That has replaced a lot of teacher websites now. I don't know if I have it on here. I can't remember. So I do want to go ahead and make this point. I always kept a website, even if we had it when we had learning management systems, because when I changed schools, I'd like to have something I can refer back to. And I just continuously built it. I'll show you my old one. I have to admit, it's now like 8, 9 years old, but I think you'll get the point. It's stuff kept it active just for this reason. But there's a lot of advantages to having a website. One, paperless classroom, accountability. That means materials are posted if students need them. There is a level of differentiated instruction. You can do tier enrichment, things like that. You can have, I have it on here later, you can have students create the PowerPoint, I'm sorry, the websites. A lot of these sites are very easy, like Google, to just have an account and make Google sites. Very much is helpful with organization and management. I like to have my website where I could just pull up I would usually download my PowerPoints as PDFs and I could just pull them up very easily. And also, if you have a real fancy dancy one, you can do newsletters, blogs, announcements, and such on your website. For students, it is a level of collaborative learning. We just talked about that with 21st century skills. It's a creative way for students to kind of communicate on assignments and work. They can talk, they can see it, they can share it, they can, pull it up on their phones if they need to, or other devices such as iPads. It provides an information location if the students are not in school, if they forget something. Again, I know LMSs do this, but if you have a rooted website, you might have a little more in-depth information there. And it also makes your class much more 21st century oriented. For parents, again, communication, there's no excuse in terms of not being able to access information unless the website's down or something like that. And also, I think there is a level of transparency where sometimes I think parents, most of the time, with no ill intent, but it does feel this way where they don't know what's going on in a class. Transparency, if you do announcements and such on a website, is there. And also, I think it helps everyone just be more on the ball. So, because again, the information is posted on the website. There's a lot of different tools for teachers to use to create a website. There's Google, which as the one I'm going to show you today, and you have to forgive me, I'm still a little um feeling the way out how to use the Google sites because I am definitely more of a Weebly person. That's what I use. That's the one that I'm going to show you. But I think for the purposes of this class, the Google one is a little easier to use for the assignment. Weebly can be a little clunky. Now, with that being said, if you like Weebly or if you've used it before, you are welcome to use it. Same thing with Wix. Weebly and Wix are very much plug and play. You slide things over and you can like just create. Um, and some schools actually do provide their own website servers for faculty, especially if the LMS like allows it. I don't have it on here. You will also be able to have the option of using WordPress, which is another one I know a lot of people like to use. On here, it says we're going to focus on Weebly and Wix. I'll show them to you real quick. But again, I think for the assignment, I'm actually going to show you Google, and that's you can just pick which one you want to do. I mentioned that Weebly and Wix are plug and play. This is, I'll show you the actual site, and the link is up at the bottom here. But this was my homepage for my social studies class in middle school. And as you can see here, there was all my classes, some of my extracurricular activities that I did with students. And I would literally, to build it, when you hit the toolbar, you get this little thing and you just slide things over and place it where you want it. It's very simple, but it's something you have to mess around with for like 10, 15 minutes. And I think that's where sometimes people get frustrated with it a little bit. But like for title, you would just literally slide it right there and drop it. And then you type over it. Sometimes you have to move it. There's a little bit of it's a little clunky sometimes. I mean, this is an old one, old setup. It's gotten a little bigger in terms of like the blocks and stuff as you do it. Like I say, I usually put my things up as PDFs. I could put them up as PowerPoints. I just found when I load something, I usually do it as a PDF because it seems like everyone can open a PDF with little to no issues. But as you can see, when we were doing Europe, I would have materials that I handed out or PowerPoints right there. This is the old student page. This one actually, it still looks similar, but instead of having Weebly Education, they just have Weebly now. But you can see you could actually get websites for students now. They're just all free. So I used to actually have my students for an assignment. We would do a Weebly account. You could get up to 30. And I would have the one that I did with my sixth graders was I would have them pick a topic on World War I or a person or something like that. And they would have to create a website, which we're going to basically do the same assignment in this class, just to make sure you can navigate the tech. But basically, I had this student here did the Red Baron. They did the bio of the person. So they did one on the bio and you would just click it. And then they had to have one YouTube video up. So front page, bio, video. And this was, again, this was a sixth grader probably in about 2015, maybe. So along those lines. So what do you need to do for this assignment? You're going to pick either Wix, Google, or Weebly, or I'll add in there WordPress. If you do know of another site and I'm not familiar with it, you can just email me and give me the heads up. I just want you to make a website with basically 3 tenets. I want you to have a title page. Of course, make sure you have a header and such on there. Make sure you have a sub page, and I want something posted on that sub page. It can be a PDF, it can be a YouTube link, it can be anything like that. And then we'll kind of go through it. And I'm sorry, it says, I'm going to pull the assignment up and go back over it. But if you see Sakai, I catch these references and I keep meaning to update them. Sakai was our old Brightspace thing, and I sometimes catch one and forget to update them. So that's basically the pros and cons of a website. Let me show you the assignment, though. I kind of mumbled through that. As you can see, you're going to pick one of them. You're going to put a title page. You're going to do a sub page with something on it. I don't care what. It can be a video. It can be a handout. Something related to something you're going to teach. So if you are a biology education major, you're probably going to do something maybe on cells or animals. That's fine. If you're elementary, pick any discipline you want. If you're PE, a lot of times people, it seems like this time of year, a lot of time handball seems to come up or shooting a free throw. That's fine. Make your homepage and maybe the video is related to that. If you just want to do a document, it can be classroom rules, whatever. That's what I want you to do. And what you're going to end up doing is sharing the link with me. I want to make this, in case I didn't say this in the first video, when you submit a link, you may have to put it on a Word document and submit it on that Word document, because for some reason Brightspace is weird about putting links in. And here you go. You're going to create a title page, sublink page, and on that sublink page, you're going to put something on it. So basically, you're going to have 2 pages: title, subpage, something on the subpage. Just to kind of show you mine, I think it's still on here. Let's go Weebly. There's mine. It should still be active. And as you can see, there's some of my grades. I was really on the ball once upon a time. And let's just hit like 8th grade. That was West Virginia history. And I had all these materials related to West Virginia history right there. And we would kind of go to it. And also, you know, I did social studies fair, I did history bowl, things like that. So 7th grade was a little world. I did regional. I like to set it up that way. So we would talk about different stuff. And then there was 6th grade with the setup. So that is the website. Let me show you how to do one though. I am going to go to Google. Sorry, I'm talking weird, but I was just making sure what I got here. All right, we're gonna go to Google Sites. All right, I'm logged in. I mentioned this in the first video, and if you haven't already, if you're going to use Google Sites, make sure you have a Google account, the free one. You will also need it when we do Google Classroom in the coming weeks. So, and it'll also make your life, when you do use these other texts, you can just use your Google account to create an account. So if you don't have a Google account, I would go ahead and do it. But here's how you're going to do Google Sites. I would recommend doing this one because it seems to be the one most people think is the easiest. I'll say that I'm much better with Weebly, so bear with me as I'm kind of plugging along here. But as you can see, you're going to pick a template. I'm just going to pick a blank one. And as you can see, boom, it's there. So we're going to do, skip that tour. I'm going to do, we'll do world. And as you can see, you can pick an image. You can select one, you can upload one. Let's see if we can select something here. As you can see, Google Images. Just do it to it. Let's do World War I. And let's hit. Forgive me, I'm going to do this a little quick. I'm just going to pick something here. We'll pick that one and insert. And hopefully it'll pop up there. There it is. And you can see I have a little background there. And here you can start to add things on here. You can do text box. So you can add something here. So you can say Dr. Allen's social studies class. See, it's a little quick, so but I wanted to give you this. As you can see, you can actually put things down here too. You can do buttons. If I wanted to add one, insert button. So link to class rules. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do this. And I can do this really quick. Let's do it. I'm just going to use the link. Again, I'm just wanted to show you real quick how to kind of navigate it. But as I put it on here, I'm going to put a link. And I'm going to insert. And there's that. Now, you can jazz up your cover page however you want to do it. Just make sure you have your name somewhere on there. And I know you don't have a classroom yet. I don't think most people in here do. And maybe a graduate student or two if we have any. But you can fabricate a little bit. Again, just make sure. I don't want one just on anything. And what I mean by anything, like I like the Commanders. I'm in my glory right now with them. I'm not going to do one on Washington football right now. It needs to be something content specific. What content within there, that's fine. Then, as you see here, there's something called pages. You can also change the theme, but if you hit page, you can actually add another page, new page. Let's just say information about 20th Century. Done. And again, you can start to add different things in here. Let's click it and we'll insert, and I'm on that page. And you can kind of go through and do the same thing. You can add things from your Google Drive. You can do spacers, you can do sheets. But however you want to add stuff in there, you are welcome to do it. You can do images. So you just kind of move it in there. It's nothing too fancy. Let's see if I can do something real quick here. Text box. Then I should, there we go. Then you can, if you click down there, you can start adding some other cool stuff. So these were some things for a presentation I'm getting ready to do. Wow, that's cool that it has it in there. Let's pick one just to see what happens. And you can see, boom, just click down there and it'll let you do all types of stuff. So you can just build it. I just went to, and if you go back, you can navigate between the home page and that page. So everything you need is over on this side. This is Google Sites. If you can't find it, just type in Google Sites. It'll take it to you, and you'll know you're logged in here. Something you have to do, though, to submit, make sure you publish it. Web address, I'm just going to do test site 380. And I'm not, this is up to you, but I'm just going to put, I don't, public searches. I'm not too worried about anyone doing that. So we'll publish that and we got it. And there's my website link. You can just share it or you can hit here. I think you can share it there too. But if you want to just send the web link to me, that is fine. Let's hit it again. Boom. Hold on. Okay, got it. All right. Now that it is published, let's go back. And there we go. You got to click that. Sorry, I hit the wrong thing. Copy link. So when you share it, hit the little, I always think it looks like a paper clip. I hit publish. Ignore that. Right there. Hit the paper clip, copy that link. And that's what you're going to submit to me. If you really are having a hard time with the links, you can even screenshot and send me what you have. I do not care what you put on your subpage. If you want to do a YouTube video, that is fine. As you can see, let's see, there should usually, there you go. You can just insert a YouTube video. So let's do World War I and click it. And as you see, you can just go right in there and insert. Boom, there's a World War I video. So just to go back, let's go here because I know I'm just talking very quickly. You need a title page. You need a subpage and you need something on the subpage around the content and make sure it's all unified. If you want to bling this thing out, go for it. But that's the bare minimum I need. So this week you need to create a website. You need to do a discussion on the fail concept and you need to review the tool that you did for the website. So if you say, I don't think I'll need a website because I'm going to use the learning management system, great. That's what you put on the blog. The discussion is based on the readings. So I think that should do it. Thank you very much. I hope I did not ramble too much there, but I'm going to go ahead and get off in the interest of time. And again, I hope everyone has a great week. If you're watching this, I'm going to probably open this a little early because I'm going to be out of town for a conference on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but I am still going to be checking emails. Just be aware, it might be a little bit in the evening if I get back to you because I'm presenting. And that should be back on track on the afternoon Monday. So, but I will definitely be checking emails in the evenings. So fear not if you email me. So hope everyone again is having a great semester and I'm going to go ahead and stop recording and get this out to you. So talk to you later. Bye.